I didn't mean to hit that button so soon.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so we are. I think we're live,
It
and I
says
can.
we are on air.
We are on air. Okay, I was gonna pull the. Every time we do this, I can't find the conversation or the group chat. I don't know what the hell that's. It's like my brain just goes, "I'll see you
So
later."
for me, it's down on the bottom toolbar to the right. But there's a help button, a chat button, and then a picture of me.
It does not give me. Oh, I found the chat. There it is over on the side.
All right.
Okay, so we'll give it a little bit and see if anybody wants to join us this evening. Hi, Arva.
Hello, welcome.
I don't have coffee. No, I'm lying. It's tea. It's not coffee. Hi, Mary Beth.
Hello, hello. Well, you're doing better than me. I was drinking Dr. Pepper, so.
Oh, I found the best recipes for with Dr. Pepper. I think it called it a dirty soda. A
Oh,
dirty
really?
Dr. Pepper. I know it looked amazing with cherry syrup, and I mean, I don't
Ooh.
drink pot, but I might for
I
dinner.
wish I didn't. Man, I don't have a lot of vices. I don't drink
Right.
alcohol. I don't have a lot of vices. I
Yeah.
am 100% all in on soda.
Uh,
Like I love
it's like
I
Dr. Pepper.
absolutely have 0 power over an ice cold or and the thing is I'm sitting here and I'm drinking it and I'm looking at the clock going, "It's 7 o'clock." I am drinking a caffeine-full
Oh,
drink.
can
I
you
am
sleep
going
after you do that?
I hope so. I don't normally
Oh,
drink it
we're gonna
quickly,
find out.
but my routine is a little off because I'm live with you, so
Yeah.
normally at this time, I'm downstairs watching some show with my
Yes.
husband, so I'm
Right.
winding down by this point, but, we'll see how it goes.
Oh, we have hi Tana,
Hello, Monica.
Kathy, Greg.
Hi,
Hello, Greg,
Crystal, Greg, Kathy.
Tara,
Hello,
Victoria.
Christy.
First
Oh,
time
man.
here, Christy. Welcome.
McDonald's diet. I wish I liked diet. I cannot stand diet. I have tried
Good
and
for
tried
you.
and tried. I can't stand it. The
Hi,
aftertaste
Rochelle.
kills me.
It
The
doesn't. Yeah, I'm
aftertaste
not.
kills me.
I do like if I go to fast food restaurants, I probably usually get like a root beer, but most of the time it's a lemonade, like a sparkling lemonade. Hi, Christy. Mind over matter. Mind over matter.
Yeah. I don't you know what? Here's the thing. I figure if that's the thing that I'm worried the most about, I'm probably doing pretty good.
Right.
So, I'm gonna be alright with it. I am not so even the thought of drinking a Diet Coke honestly makes my stomach turn. It just grosses me out. I can't do it. I
Like I'm not.
can't. I've tried.
Well,
My husband, that's all he
it'll take
drinks is
paint
Diet
off
Coke.
off of anything, as far as I understand.
Hi, Megan. Hi, Tab. Welcome in, everybody. I'm so excited that you're
Christy.
here with us today.
Absolutely. I don't know if I said hi, Erica. Hi, Christy. Diana says, I hear it's raining in Washington. Yeah, we have got some serious flooding on the other side of the mountains. We haven't seen any here. We have a creek that will literally start running in my back property, in the back of our property here. And then we have a creek that runs in front of our property that comes into our pond. And neither of those are doing anything right now. So where I'm at, we're pretty decent. But snow
It's actually
quality.
raining here too, which
Is
is a
it? Are
hot
you guys
mess.
getting flooding?
No, because
Oh,
it snowed. So
shit. We're
everything
getting.
here was frozen with 6, 8 inches of snow, and then it rained on top of that. So now it's a slushy, frozen, slippery mess.
Oh, I was going to just see if I can. Like, it is wicked here right now.
Hello, Kylie. Whoa.
Dude. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's we got some water coming. I mean, there even I think Snoqualmie Pass, they just shut down, or Falls, wherever that is. They just shut down part of the highway because there was a pretty bad mudslide. So,
Goodness.
yes, it's a mess. Oh, see, Crystal's on the coast. She's over. I do know where she is. And it is a tad wet. I bet. Well, I mean, you live on the coast, so it's always wet over there. Um, but yeah, you're supposed to have really bad swells right now too, right? Is it called a king swell? Crystal, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that what that's called? Kathy, Sean is watching us. Sean is watching us. It'll be fun to see if she wants to pop in tonight. Hi, Venus. Hi, Roxy. If we didn't say hi to you, we're not ignoring you. I promise. Hello, everybody. Crystal said 110 inches of snow on the pass. Well, damn, that's some snow. I mean, it does snow, but a lot of new here. Very good. Welcome, everybody. So, with that, yeah, the winds were bad in Tri Cities today, too. Okay, so with that said, we're going to jump right in. Erin, would you like to start us off with the theory of everything?
Yes. So, for anyone who doesn't know who I am, my name is Erin. I am a frequency and clarity coach. And over the last week and a half or so, I've had some pretty big revelations come through on understanding how energy works from the micro to the macro, right? And I'm going to read to you what I wrote. And the reason I wrote it down is because it's a lot of information and I don't want to lose track of it. But also, I'm giving you scientific theories that we already know about and have already tested to explain some of the things that you experience in the spiritual world. Because if I can make it less mystical, it makes it easier to access, because a lot of times we tell ourselves we can't do something that feels magical or something like
Right.
this, but it's not magic. It's just science. It's just science. So I want to explain it to you the way I understand it so that you can take this. I'm going to read to you what I wrote. If you want to see a written version of this, it's on my Patreon account. You can go there and get that for free. But I'm going to read it to you, and I'm going to go nice and slow so you can get it all. Okay.
And this is being recorded, you guys. And sometimes it takes me a couple of weeks, but I do try to go in and, put some little pops in there so that you guys can see it. And we share that on Patreon too.
It's awesome. All right. So buckle in, friends. We're going to go for a mystical journey. All right. So the first thing I want to do is I want to start by untangling one of the biggest misconceptions people have about science. Okay. We tend to learn that space is empty, that matter is solid, and that your body is separate from everything around you, but none of that is actually true. Modern physics has shown us that space is not empty at all. It is filled with what we call quantum fields. These ideas come from theories developed by people that you've heard of, like Heisenberg, Dirac, and Feynman, in what's now called the quantum field theory. Instead of empty space, imagine a sea of invisible, constantly moving energy fields. Every particle that exists is just a vibration, a ripple in one of those fields. So, the first key idea is this: vibration is not something that happens in the universe. Vibration is what the universe is. And I want to bring up real quick, I'm not super familiar with the Christian Bible, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe at the beginning of the Bible, there was some phrase like, at first there was the Word, and the Word was God, or something like that. What is sound but vibration?
Right.
Right. So these fields cannot be still, right? The uncertainty principle says that there is no such thing as perfect rest. So long before anything like stars or planets existed, there was already movement, constant, unavoidable vibration within these fields. As those vibrations grew, they stabilized into patterns. These patterns are what we call particles. It didn't happen all at once, but over time, resonance, matching, or compatible frequencies, right? Resonance, there's the word, pulled similar vibrations into relationship. The same way two tuning forks in the same room will eventually vibrate together, these early field excitations began to synchronize. That synchronization created structure. Some frequencies reinforced each other, some canceled each other out, but the ones that harmonized stuck together, forming the first particles.
Mm-hmm.
Spin, charge, and polarity created rotation. Rotation created stability. Stability created mass, and as more mass accumulated, gravity emerged from the curvature of space-time around that mass, as Einstein described in his theory of general relativity. So now we've gone from fluctuating fields to particles. And then through resonance over large time scales, those particles begin to form bigger and more complex structures. Hydrogen atoms formed, then helium. Under the sheer pressure of gravity inside these early clouds of gas, nuclear fusion ignited, right? Boom, sun is there, right?
Sun is there.
Our sun is one of those stars. It's a ball of resonance, vibration, and fusion, okay? The sun's gravity and rotation pulled particles into orbit around it. Those particles collided, clumped together, and formed planets. And eventually, on one of those planets, the resonance became so complex and so coherent that life emerged, which brings us all the way to you, okay?
And you channeled this.
Yes. Yes. So I want to say I channeled this, but it took me a while to get it put together, right? Like it
Yeah, but
wasn't like
that's
I sat
impressive.
down and this all came out at once. I had multiple different things and then smushed them together, and this is
And
what came out.
swished them. I love
Yeah.
it.
So your body is not separate from this process. It's the continuation of it. The same quantum fields that vibrate in the fabric of space are vibrating inside of you. Your particles form atoms. Those atoms form molecules. Molecules form cells. Cells form tissues. Tissues form organs. All of that is held together not just by chemistry, but by electromagnetic interaction. Frequency.
Frequency.
Your heart produces the largest electromagnetic field in your body. Your brain creates waves, literally measurable frequencies. The fascia throughout your body behaves like a liquid crystal network that conducts information. Even inside your cells, microtubules vibrate at frequencies that help organize biological processes. So your body is not a static structure, it's a dynamic resonance system. And because of that, your body does not exist in isolation. You are constantly interacting with the frequency of the environment around you. This is where the concept of entrainment becomes important, okay? Entrainment is a scientific principle that describes how oscillating systems tend to synchronize. It was first observed in the 1600s by a scientist who I can't pronounce his last name, when he noticed two pendulum clocks hanging from the same beam would swing in unison. You guys have all seen that. I've seen it on my
Yeah.
clocks, right? The
Yep.
same thing happens with human beings. When you stand near someone whose nervous system is calm and coherent, your body's rhythms begin to match theirs. When you are around someone who's anxious or chaotic, your field shifts in that direction too. In other words, your biofield can temporarily rise or fall depending on the frequency of the people, environments, and emotional states you interact with. Short exposures create temporary shifts. Long exposures create integration. This is why you feel lighter after spending time with uplifting people and heavier around draining environments. Your system entrains to whatever you're immersed in. But the interaction doesn't stop at the level of the field. The frequencies you encounter move inward. They affect your biology. Your microtubules change their vibration patterns. Your fascia tightens or relaxes. Your cells alter their electrical charge. Your heart rhythm reflects the emotional environment. Your brain waves shift to match what they're sensing. If these shifts are brief, the body returns to its baseline. But if you're immersed in certain emotional frequencies for long periods, for example, sadness, anxiety, frustration, right? Shame, anger, your system begins to encode them as your normal state. Okay. That's when we begin to experience dis-ease. Not disease in the medical sense yet,
Well,
but dis-ease as in the body is no longer at ease. coherence is disrupted. Communication between cells becomes less efficient. Pressure builds in the emotional system, and the physical body begins to express the imbalance that started as frequency. This is why healing is never just feel physical or emotional, it's also vibrational. When you
100.
begin to heal, what you're really doing is releasing the lower, denser frequencies you've been carrying, frequencies associated with old grief, old fear, old stories about yourself, old patterns of survival. These emotions have weight. They slow down the system. They anchor you at the bottom of your available frequency range. As you release them through awareness, processing, somatic work, spiritual patience, practice, time, all the stuff, the lower vibrations loosen their grip. And as they release, your system becomes open to integrating higher, faster moving frequencies. This is why people often describe healing as lightening up, expanding, gaining clarity, feeling more connected. Your frequency is rising because the dense emotions that kept you anchored are finally dissolving. As your frequency rises, you begin to resonate with higher experiences, joy, intuition, connection, purpose, love. Not because these emotions were outside of you, but because your system is now capable of sustaining their vibration. Okay. And that brings us full circle. The universe is built on vibration. Resonance shapes particles, planets, stars, and life. And that same resonance shapes your emotional experience and your physical health. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are made of the same fields, responding to the same principles, evolving through the same process. Healing is simply the process of becoming more resonant with who you actually are. And just like everything else in the universe, you are always moving toward coherence, always moving towards the next frequency that you're ready to hold. So that was the first half.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Hopefully I
You're
didn't
getting a
lose
lot
you.
of woo woo. No,
Okay.
and if you did, they can come back.
So the next one is a little bit shorter, but this kind of expands on that, because then the question becomes, well, if we reduce everything down to something so scientific, it kind of takes away some of the magical aspects of it. So the question then became, so if all of that is true, then what is a spirit guide? Like, what is that then? If we're looking at this scientifically, what is a spirit guide? And let me tell you, I have an answer. All right.
I do too, so I'm excited to see yours.
Mm. All right. So once you understand that the universe is made of vibrating fields and that your body is one of those coherent field patterns, it becomes easier to see that consciousness itself follows the same structure. This is where science and spirituality stop being separate languages and start describing the same thing from different angles, right? In physics, we already accept that certain forces exist as fields. Gravity is a field, electromagnetism is a field, the quantum vacuum is a field. Consciousness fits naturally into this architecture. Instead of treating it as something your brain produces, we can understand your brain as the instrument that tunes into a larger consciousness field. It shapes it, interprets it, filters it like a radio, not because consciousness is small, but because your nervous system can only physically process a narrow bandwidth of what you actually are, right? This is where the idea of the higher self becomes not just mystical, but structurally logical, right? If your physical body is the tuning device, then your higher self is the full broadcast. It is the complete, coherent, high frequency version of you, not another being, not something above you. It is your total consciousness field, your identity stretched through timelines, potentials, and dimensions. You experience one moment of that field at a time because your biology can only tune into a small slice of it. The higher self experiences the whole thing at
Yeah.
once, right? In the same resonance based model we've already been using, meaning your physical state is a lower bandwidth expression of a much larger pattern, intuition becomes the moments when your field briefly aligns with the bigger coherence. Manifestation becomes the process of pulling information and potential down from that higher field into physical form. And what you call guidance isn't something external whispering down from the sky. It's you in a more complete state sending a signal. Now, once you understand the higher self this way, it becomes easier to place spirit guides, ancestors, angels, and other non physical presences within the same structure. They're not exceptions to the rules, they follow the same rules. Think of them as highly stable consciousness fields, patterns of information that have enough coherence to maintain a recognizable identity over time. It's the same physics that governs everything else. When energy stabilizes, it forms something distinct. Particles do it, stars do it, humans do it, collective emotions do it when they form archetypes like the mother, the healer, the trickster, right? And consciousness fields beyond the physical do it too. Spirit guides are simply coherent fields of consciousness that you can tune into. They have stable signatures, they maintain consistency, they interact with you through resonance, not language. When your emotional system rises into a clearer, calmer, more stable state, you match their frequency and communication becomes possible. This is why meditation, dreams, and intuitive states are the places people feel them the most. Your brain waves slow down, your nervous system settles, your field becomes quiet enough to register subtle information. And this structure scales perfectly. At the foundation is the quantum field, pure vibration. From that emerges your biological field, the resonant instrument of your body. That body is guided by the personal field of your higher self. That higher self interacts with the collective field of human archetypes. And surrounding all of it are transpersonal consciousness fields, guides, ancestors, non physical intelligence, patterns stable enough to be experienced as individual presences. They all communicate the same way through resonance. Your emotional state alters your frequency, right? That frequency shifts your perception. That perception determines which fields you can align with. When you're elevated, steady, or open, you access higher frequency information. When you're overwhelmed or fearful, the connection becomes harder to maintain. It isn't punishment, it's simply physics. Coherence can only be sensed when the receiving system is coherent enough to register it. That is a physics principle that is so important for this. If you are chaos, you cannot register something other than that, right?
Nope.
So from the smallest, exactly, from the smallest particle to the largest star, from your personal emotions to collective human archetypes, from ancestors to guides to your higher self, the mechanism that creates identity is always the same. Resonance creates coherence, and coherence creates form. That's the architecture of the universe, and that's why your healing matters. When you release dense emotional states like fear, shame, and old patterns of survival, you're not just feeling better, you're raising the coherence of your field. You're tuning your instrument, and the clearer your field becomes, the more easily you align with the higher structures already connected to you, like your intuition and what you feel is your purpose or highest timeline. In other words, the same physics that built stars is the physics that governs your awakening, and everything in the universe is always moving towards greater coherence.
You said something there too that I was like, when you are healing yourself too, you're helping others learn how to heal. And
Yes,
so
absolutely.
it's just a constant because we're all connected. And so
Right.
what my opinion, you talked about guides being a stream. I don't know if you said consciousness, but they literally are a stream of
Mhm.
consciousness that we're tapping into.
Yeah, I think
And
I just said it's like it's just a coherent field that you're able to
yeah,
tune to. That's all it is.
yeah,
It's just
yes,
a stable,
literally.
coherent field.
And we're
And when
doing
you
this all day long,
Yes. So here's the thing
literally.
I want to say. So here, I don't know if you've noticed this, Melissa, but I notice this with clients that come to me. They get very in their head about the raise your
Oh,
vibration. Oh my gosh. Okay. So let's put this to rest. Okay. Your frequency, I would love for people to start thinking of it this way, right? Because
yeah, that
89.9
makes sense.
FM and 101.1 FM, they're just different. One's not better or worse. They're just different. The reason we say high vibe is better is because it feels better. It's not
Feels a
intrinsically
lot
better,
better for
but
people.
it feels better. And it allows you to move towards the open end of your ability to receive vibrationally so that you can pick up on things that are moving faster. When you
Hmm.
have these denser emotions, it's not necessarily bad, but it doesn't feel great. And it also weighs your energy down. So
Yeah.
as you move that out of your system, you can shift this way on your sort of scale of frequency. I don't know how else to explain that,
Yeah.
but scale of
Yeah.
frequency.
No, that makes one thing that I see a lot is people saying, "Well, I'm trying to stay positive." And I think that is so fucking overused because we're human. There's going to be times when I'm not going to be very fucking positive today. Um, so we
Well,
can't always be positive about everything. But I think the trick is to catch yourself to know that there are tools, there's things you can do to shift. Because if somebody comes up and pops me in the face, I mean, they wouldn't, but if they did, I wouldn't be super positive about that.
sure. And I mean, emotion is the problem with emotion is not the emotion, it's the repression of the emotion. It's the inability to let it go. It's the rumination that gets you. It's all
Or
of
the
that.
avoidance of
Or
letting
the
it go.
avoidance or whatever it is. It's not the actual feeling the emotion that's the problem for most people. It's that we hang on to it because of a variety of reasons. I feel bad now that I feel mad at you. So now I'm going to add guilt on top of my anger and it's just going to get compounded, right?
Yes.
But, it's very human. The whole reason you are here is to have a human experience.
Yeah.
It would not be logical to say that everything's always going to be sunshines and rainbows. That is not
No.
possible because you are in a physical environment where contrast is the
That's what
headline of
Earth
the
is for.
day. Right.
100% Earth. It's yin and yang, good and bad, black and
It's
white, red and green. I
duality.
mean, it's duality. So that we learn at a much faster pace here than we can in any other place we incarnate.
That's
So
what I
Earth school,
understand.
it's
That's
like
what I
a
understand. I mean,
it's like an Ivy League education.
I don't remember anything else at this point, but I'm going to tell you, it's doing a number on me here. Like when I get up there and they give me like, here's your customer service survey.
You're like,
I have notes.
notes.
I have notes.
Well, you do get to review everything you've said, just from my understanding as a medium and things I've been shown. We do have a life review. So uh, your soul's going to get to be put in the hot seat.
Right. I don't know that they want to hear my
Oh,
notes.
thanks, kid. Oh. Our school is hard. It is. It is.
Yes, Carrie, you are right. When you change your energy, you shift your frequency. When you shift your frequency, you change your vibration. It's all energy, all of it. It's all energy, right?
Yeah.
Someone had a question for me earlier today that was really interesting. They asked me,
Not on here. On here?
No, it wasn't on
No.
here. It
Oh,
was
okay.
earlier.
Okay.
But
Okay.
they said, did I think there was a limit to the frequency that we can embody? And I think that that's a two-part answer, right? So I think your physical body absolutely has limitations because the faster a particle moves, the less solid it becomes. And
Mhm.
raising your frequency is speeding up the rate at which your particles oscillate.
Yes.
So if you get it going too fast, you're going to turn into liquid, friend. So we're not going to do
Thank
that.
Lucy. Thank Lucy. Has
Think
anybody seen that
Lucy.
movie?
There's a great scene in Lucy, which is an okay movie, but the concept is amazing,
I
right?
love the
So
concept. I mean, the end was weird, but I
the
still is
movie
like
was
one of my
strange, but the
favorites. Yeah.
concept was brilliant. And there's a scene perfectly, she explains this, where she says, if you have a video of a car and it's going by and you speed it up super fast, eventually the car disappears, not because it's not there, but because it's going so fast that your human eyes can no longer perceive it.
Yeah.
Think of water, right? You speed up the movement of particles of water, it becomes vapor, right? So the human body is the same. So I do think that there's a physical limitation to what our physical body can embody, but I do not think that there is a limitation to what our like etheric body can embody.
Yeah, I
So,
agree with that. Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
turn to liquid, so let's not find out. But
Not today. We'll do maybe
right.
tomorrow.
Right. But I will tell you from personal experience, when you start taking care of yourself emotionally and on a vibrational level, when you start your practices, when you genuinely start listening to yourself, your physical health will change. I have had people, I was talking about this earlier today. I've had people that I worked with every single day for 5 years, every single day for 5 years, literally walk right past me because they don't recognize me. And if I say something, they always do the same thing where they look and they're like, oh, hey, it's like it takes them a second. And then every single time they're like, did you cut your hair? Did you get
Yeah.
like, what
Because
did you do?
literally.
because my frequency is slightly different. So the way they are able to perceive me is slightly different, right? It's all about perception, personal perception. We shape our own reality. And because their version of me has shifted slightly, I'm blurry for a second, is the best way I can explain it.
I had a client who within a month had 3 or 4 car accidents, and not a single one of them were her fault. She kept getting hit. She was vibrating outside of their frequency. They could not see her.
Yep.
And this happens to us all the time. Oh, I didn't see them. Oh, it's not there. Or I just put that there and it's gone and it vibrated outside of your frequency. What I think is that it's your guides sometimes, or your loved ones, because they vibrate much higher than we do, and
Oh,
they
absolutely. And
might
they
be
have the
inside
total
the
picture
optic
too. They
too.
see it all
100%.
coming,
They
they
see it
see it all
coming.
coming. So yeah,
Yeah.
very interesting.
That's pretty fun. That was great. That was great. Thank
I
you for
have, so that was part 1 and part 2. Like there's a part 3 that's coming out tomorrow where I'm literally explaining in scientific terms all the stuff about the Schumann, like why the Schumann actually affects you, what the scientific principles are, what the studies are, how they work, all the stuff. So keep an eye open, you guys. It's coming.
Oh, I love that you brought up Schumann, because Monday, so a lot of the girls on my Patreon follow you. And Monday I do lives with my Patreon peeps, and kind of came into the group like, oh my God, I had the worst headache. I woke up with the worst headache. And then turns out you had posted something about one of my, I think Rochelle is on here. Yeah, she's here.
Yeah.
She was like, well, guess what? Today's the headache day. And I was like, great. At least I'm following right along with Schumann. So,
Well,
and I
yeah.
don't typically get a lot of headaches, a couple a year.
Well, when the magnetosphere of our planet is reduced, what happens is all those particles that the magnetosphere protects us from
Mm-hmm.
start to hit our environment much more heavily. And people who
Right.
are energetically sensitive
Yeah.
tend to get headaches during that time because those particles are interacting with your field. And for a lot of people, they're not sensitive enough to notice it. But when you're tuned into your frequency, it can make you you pick up on the smallest little thing, and it
So,
can be perceived in that way. It's
and
very, very common.
that's getting bigger. I noticed that my clairvoyance is getting my is kind of really popping right now. Like I will
Yep.
see these freaking scenes of things like I think they've already happened, and then the client will be like, "Oh, no, I don't know what that is." And then the next day they're like, "Well, guess what happened today?" I'm like, "Great."
Yeah. So I've had a couple people say, I mean, obviously myself included, these downloads that I've been getting over the last week and a half or so, something is definitely happening. Now, I will tell you, in one of my morning videos, I actually said this, and this was before I had all these downloads come through. So
Oh,
I have to
that's
go back and
awesome.
find the date. Before all these downloads came through, I think that I had a visit from the man with the white beard. I can't remember exactly if he was there or not, but I remember waking up and understanding that I needed to get a hold of this idea of frequency, that it was going to be very, very important about something coming up, right?
Yeah, I'm getting
So then
goosebumps.
Right. So then in the next few days, I get all these downloads. And then I kid you not, everything that I'm seeing is about frequency. Everything. The TV shows I watch. Okay. So, for example, not to give it away, but there is a show I am watching. I'm not going to tell you the name of the show or anything about it. Right. But in
Okay.
the show, there is a mystery to it. And I guarantee you, after thinking about it and all this stuff, I guarantee you the mystery in the
Oh,
show is that it's being controlled by a frequency through the radio, right? Like these people are being controlled by a frequency through the radio. Frequency, right? On my phone today, the first thing that popped up on my phone was an advertisement for the next season of Avatar, the next Airbender.
oh,
The whole trailer is talking about frequency. The whole trailer is talking about frequency and entrainment. It is Nothing is coincidence. I don't believe in
no,
coincidence.
no,
So
I
the
don't either.
fact that I had that feeling of I need to understand this, this is important, we need to understand this, followed by all this wave of information, plus so many people telling me their clairs are picking up, they're receiving more information, they're getting more detailed information. I did a live today with Sam, Spirituality with Sam,
Okay.
and she was saying the same thing. Like everything is really picking up for a lot of people. And I
Just
guarantee you
on
it's because we're
steroids.
getting very,
Yeah.
very close to something. And I
Yeah.
can't help but speculate if it has to be if we have to understand the ideas behind frequency, the only reason I can think that that would need to be so important is because we're going to be faced with something that is of a higher frequency range than we're used to dealing with. And if you know anything about psyops, right? So there's experiments that have been done that if you can put a frequency around someone that is too high for them, it will create anxiety in their system, right? So the idea being, if we have non-human intelligence that's about to communicate with us and their frequency is so much higher than ours, naturally it would create a sense of anxiety in people just on biology, right? But if we understand that
Well, that's
before they get
interesting that you're
here,
talking about this because this
right?
stuff came up Monday. And for the girls who are on here that were in that live on Monday, because I was talking about something very similar. And there's a part of me that's like, is there going to be a black helicopter over my house?
Right. But think about it, it makes sense, right? If we know this, if we know how frequency works and how it could adversely affect us before we have these interactions, we can cut off the panic that might come with it. Right? Because education is key. Education is power. There's strength in knowledge, right? So if you understand what's happening to you, you don't feel like a victim. You have a sense of control. So if we are literally working our way towards some sort of, I don't know, disclosure conversation, I don't know what it is, but
Well, I will tell you, I just got goosebumps when you said the disclosure conversation. I agree with you. I feel like that's coming. I mean, I already believe in them. I've channeled things that I'm just like, what the fuck? So,
well, it's not logical that they wouldn't be here. I mean, give me a break.
right.
You cannot
really, we're floating in orbit
well,
really.
Here's the thing. I don't remember what scientist it was. Maybe it was Neil Tyson that said this, but it was a scientist who said this. He said, looking at our vast universe that we can see and saying that we're it,
right.
first of all, is incredibly egocentric. And secondly, is like taking a teaspoon of water out of the ocean and going, oh, no fish.
No fish. They're not in there.
What? None. That's nonsensical. Nonsensical, right?
Oh, shit. I was watching. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to just say, I do think one of the limitations we have is that we are looking for ourselves as life forms. We are looking for carbon-based life forms, and I don't think that's what's out there. I think it might be out there, but I think crystalline-based and nitrogen-based and all these things are real, and we're just not open to the possibility, so we're not looking for it. You know what I mean?
Well, I think we've been shut down to the possibility to create control. I'm all about this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just like that. I spew it all the time. It's trying to control me.
Well, I mean, just think about it. Think about our media, right? Think about how our media portrays any kind of non-human intelligence. It's always invasive. It's always taking over our planet and stealing our resources and body snatching us and all this stuff. Right. So, I mean, is it possible that is I mean, of course, it's always possible. Is it likely? Probably not. Probably not.
Did you know that there was a group in the Pentagon that is responsible for the movies?
I did hear about that. So I watched Age of Disclosure. Is that where? So I watched it.
That might be one of the places I heard it. I've heard it multiple times, and I'm just like, well, that's interesting.
Yeah. And when I think about it, it makes sense when you think about stuff and you think back. But I think the opposite is also true. I think there's a lot out there that's trying to help get soft disclosure. And I think a lot of it happens in kids' TV and kids' formats, right? So, for example, the other day, I don't know what possessed me, but I saw that there was a documentary about Sean Combs, and my curiosity got the best of me, and I turned it on. And after about 20 minutes, I felt so sick to my stomach, I had to turn it off. I was like, I'm not watching this. So what I decided is I'm going to go to Disney.
Is that the new one with 50 Cent?
Yeah. 50. Yeah. It made me so sick to my stomach, I didn't even watch it. So I turned it off, but I decided, okay, so what am I going to do to get out of this frequency? So I went to Disney, and I'm like, let's watch a cartoon, right? So I go to Disney, and I picked a movie I'd never heard of called Elio. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
It's a fantastic movie, first of all. But Elio is about a little kid that makes contact with aliens and goes to their planet, and he isn't scared, and it's all about the different variety of how they communicate and what they look like and all this stuff. It is a fantastic movie. It got no traction. I had never even heard of it.
Well, I'm going to go watch it now. Elio. Is that how
Elio.
you?
Yeah, it's really, really good. There's
Okay, you
also
guys, we
another
gotta
one
go
on
watch it.
there that I watched after Elio called Strange Worlds, another
Yeah,
animated one. Now, this one has got
Strange
the
Worlds.
voices of like Jake Gyllenhaal and Dennis Quaid, like big people in this movie. Never heard of it. But when you watch it, I don't want to give it away because it's a
Okay.
very cool little twist at the end. It is one of
Okay.
those things that is a good way to show kids to look beyond what you think you know, right?
I love it.
Yeah, it
That's
is a super cute
okay.
movie.
I've never heard of either of them, so I'm definitely going to Google those when we get done here tonight and see what the heck
Oh, they're
those
so
are.
fun.
Yeah, it's I just I am such a I hate to say I'm a conspiracy theorist. No, I don't, because I am. I just think that there's so much that goes on behind the scenes, and I didn't used to. I would have called bullshit on everything we've said tonight. It would have been like those ladies are high on cocaine or something.
Well, I think that money and power are very strong motivators for someone whose self-worth is anchored in money and power. And I think that people who have that feeling and feel at a loss when they don't will do anything they can to keep it.
Yeah, I
And
think
if
so.
you look at a lot of conspiracy theories from the macro, it's all about controlling the narrative, right? And the reason someone would want to control the narrative is because then people do what you want instead of
Yes.
going outside of the lines, right?
If we knew how powerful we were, we would not fall in line with most of the stuff. So much would change if we knew how loved we were. That's the thing is that frustrates me about some religions, and I don't want to get all the hate mails for this, but a lot of them teach fear, and it drives me nuts because my
Right.
guides keep showing me who was it? JFK. There's nothing to fear. Who said that? Or Truman? Who said that? The but fear itself. It's true. I might be
I
making
think it
both
was
of those things.
JFK.
Oh,
I can
oh,
hear it in my head, but I can't. I think it was JFK. I don't know. Movies, one was called Elio, it's Elio, and one is called Strange Worlds, and they're both Disney cartoons or
hi,
Pixar.
Diane.
Disney or they're on Disney, so
Okay. Well, I'm definitely Googling them. So, um, and I don't remember what we were saying, but because I started to do it while we were talking again. I don't know if you noticed that. Um,
oh, right.
stimming.
Yes. So, this was fantastic. I was doing live readings today, and literally in the middle of a live reading, I had this download come through. To preface this, I believe personally that ADHD and autism are two sides of an evolutionary mechanism because this universe is dualistic in nature, so everything has to have two sides. Autism is inward focused, ADHD is outward focused, this balance, right? Um, as I was doing this live, it landed on me like a ton of bricks that if you've ever seen any kids who have either one of these, they stim a lot, where they're moving their hands or they're making movements or they have, like I have fidget toys and all this stuff. What I realize is it's because they're tuning into a frequency that's too big for the physical body to
Right.
sort of hold. And so you start doing these physical movements to sort of compress the energy down into something that your body physically can process. And if you've ever had anxiety, you know the feeling. You just need to move your body. And it's because the energy is going so fast in you that it needs to get out. So these kids and adults who are doing this is because the field that they're in is so large and the human body hasn't evolved yet to catch up with being able to hold all of this frequency. But that tends to be how evolution works, right? Is that we
Yeah.
evolve one way and then the other side catches up.
Yeah. When you said it earlier, I was just like, my mind just went bam because when I first started having my awakening, I would sit there and like, why am I doing this? I was constantly doing this with my hands. And when
Mm-hmm.
you said that, I was like, bam, now I get it. I didn't
Right.
know what to do with all the fucking energy that was
Again,
coming
all
in.
about frequency, right? That human body, the thing about the human body is it's limited in its ability to do things. I mean, it's a mechanism of the environment that we find ourselves in. I tell
Yeah.
people all the time, you are unlimited energy. Yes.
Yes.
However, you are in a very limited environment. So, you've got to learn how to go from this to this. And sometimes that can be uncomfortable to squish it down in there,
Dude,
but you
and
can do it.
that's what it's like for mediumship is you're feeling and sensing things that you don't understand. It's so you just think maybe it's like something icky is going to get you when all it is a loved one or a being of light. But we want to go to, oh, it's something scary because that controls us and pushes us away from something that's so beautiful.
Right. Well, let's go back around 360 right there. So we were
Okay, do it.
just talking about stimming because the frequency is too high, and that when you put a high frequency, it can give you a sense of anxiety. When someone who has passed is in your space, their energy is moving at a higher rate than yours.
Much higher.
And so you can feel that, and it can come forward feeling like anxiety,
Like it's yours.
like it's
And it will
yours, or
scare the
like,
shit out of you.
right, because it's hard to determine until you know what that is. But all it is frequency. That's all it
Yes.
is. It's a radio station. You're just
Dude.
dialing it in. That's all you're doing.
And I think so many people are
Roosevelt said it. We were wrong.
institutionalized. Oh, were we wrong? Oh, shit. So many people were institutionalized or are for having these feelings and seeing things that other people can't see.
Oh,
I,
sure.
oh my God. I mean, and I think that someday that's going to change and we'll really start to be more accepting of all these abilities that people do have.
We're slowly
Because
moving in that direction. I mean, we have
there's,
things like the telepathy tapes have been
I love it. Yeah.
incredibly helpful to move the needle because of the way they were done.
She
So
did an amazing job. She did
she
an
did an amazing
amazing
job.
job.
But even beyond that, the way the doctor did it, she was
Yeah.
incredibly meticulous on everything
Yeah.
she did. There is no room for question. As a
No.
fellow scientist looking at what she did just from that side of things, she was A+ on that. So
Yeah.
there's no going back on that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Venus. Yep. Oh, is it going? There it is. Yep. 100%. I've done group readings where there was a lady. Well, I've actually had it happen a couple of times. Their loved ones who passed away from a heart attack stepped into their energy, and as they did that, the person thought they were having a heart attack, and they weren't. It was just their loved one. When that happens to you, now obviously, if it's going on, get your butt to the hospital. But sometimes it's simply as easy as saying, I appreciate this. I feel you. Please step out of my energy. And if it goes away like that, you know that it was your loved one. It's not you. You can do that with any kind of thing that you're experiencing that you think might be like, oh, I'm going crazy. My tongue used to swell when I would get next to my boss when I worked in marketing. And I thought it was me. Something's wrong with me. And it was how his loved one had passed. But I didn't
So
know that.
interesting how stuff like that happens. I find it
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah.
I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
My dreams have been super, super hyper realistic lately too.
Ooh.
It's interesting.
You're
because
traveling. I just heard you're traveling. You're traveling. You're going
I
around
believe
doing
it.
all the things.
They're very mundane lives, right? Like I'm not doing anything fantastic. As a matter of fact, from last night, first of all, let's just get it out there. I am not a camper. I don't like to be I like to be outdoors, but I am not sleeping outside. Okay?
I don't-
Camping for me is when you go to the hotel and the doors on the outside. That's camping for me. Okay.
Oh,
So in my dream last night or the other night, I was having a conversation. I don't remember who I was talking to, but it was just like this, just a normal conversation. And they were trying to convince me to go camping. And I was like, I don't want to go. And they're like, it'll be fun. You should go. And I'm like, I don't want to go. And they're like, you need to go. And I said, fine, I'll go. And then I heard behind me someone say, it's only going to be 10 degrees this weekend. And I go, oh, hell no, I am not going.
I'm not
and I
doing
woke up
that.
and I just woke up. But that's what I mean. It was the most mundane, normal, everyday thing, but it wasn't me. And it's like I'm shifting in and out of these vertical life experiences, picking up on their normal daily BS that they're doing, you know, like it's
if
so
you come
weird.
you come to Washington, I'll take you glamping. We take the horses to the beach, and I have living quarters. It's much nicer.
Oh, that would be yeah.
You have a
My
shower.
husband
You
makes
get
fun of me
potty.
all the time, but I just know what I like, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a
Yeah.
tent person.
I don't want to sleep in the dirt. I'm just over it. I did that when I was younger. I'm going to just pop this one up here real quick. Crystal says, I've been getting pressure on my head like someone putting their hand on the top of my head. It's kind of soothing, like asking permission to communicate. I've tried to accept. Yes, that's awesome. That pressure, that's your crown chakra, sweetheart, too. So any tingling or anything you get there is just that crown chakra is wanting to open up for you. And that's your connection to source, to spirit, to things. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're almost at 6 o'clock, and we were going to talk about. I can't share. Can I share my screen? I could share my screen so people could see this little fella.
Okay.
I have to figure out how. Bear with me.
No, you're good. I was just, I have no line bifocals. I got my first pair, and I was trying to read earlier, and I was getting so frustrated because I had to keep like moving my head, and I just want to read the stupid book. Like I'm so frustrated about the whole thing. I was like, oh, forget it.
Yeah. Oh, wait, it gets better. I tried to get contacts that have those things on them, and I couldn't see crap. I'm just like, I can't drive. I'm going to hit something. Whatever. So I think.
Aw, there he is.
Oh, you see. Oh, my tabs. Okay, I don't care.
Oh, I can only see one tab, so
You can only see the what? Can you just see him?
I see him. I can't see what the tabs say. I'll put
Okay.
it to you that way.
I guess it doesn't matter.
I mean, is there anything?
I know. I was like, fuck. Do I have anything open?
Do you have like your foot page up, or like
No,
what's happening?
I think it's okay. I do want to answer this real quick. Oh, Rochelle says she loves your sweater.
Oh, thank you.
And then Tanya is throbbing in my left inner ear something. Yes. I would say throbbing might be because we're not paying attention to something. On the left side is feminine energy, so I would pay attention to that too. Okay. Linda, I need a dog. I see a dog. Okay, cool. That's what you're supposed to do. So this is Aaron's little fella. He is in spirit, so he's made his way over the rainbow. And when we were doing our last live, somebody said I should read her, and Aaron's like, well, I don't really have many people in spirit, so we decided the dog would be fun. Okay, so I asked Erin, I said, send me a photo. I told her you can send it to me the morning of. I prefer that, or the day of, anytime before. And before we go into this, I will share. I like to have a photo and a name before I go into a session with an animal, because I usually do a little sit down prior to the session, see what information comes up. So that's kind of like my initial way of starting in. So when I was starting to do this, I wanted to share this piece. So I had a woman reach out to me maybe a month or two ago. She was really timid about doing this. She thought, she was told by all of her friends, this is crazy. It doesn't happen. It's not real. So I talked to her, and after a while, she decided she wanted to do a reading with her animal. So she booked her reading, and then the morning of, I sent her a message and say, your reading is today. If you have a photo of the animal or animals you want to connect with, make sure to send those over to me. And she just about lost her fucking shit. So she didn't understand that. She was like, I thought you didn't need anything, and why do you need the name, and why do you need the picture? And because it helps me communicate. Now, I don't always use them. Sometimes animals come in organically, but I mean, I ended up canceling her session saying, honey, I'm going to refund you, because if it's that difficult and she's that stressed out about it, I don't know that a lot of good is going to come from that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I just want to add to that. Like I work this similar way, right? So
yeah.
When someone comes to have a session with me, one of the worst things you can do is sit down and I say, how can I help you today? And you say, I don't know. How can you help me today?
Yeah. I get that.
I'm not here to tell you what you need. Right.
Yeah.
I'm here to help you fix what you know is going on, right? So, what I
Yeah.
tell people is come with as many questions as you can possibly think of. Most likely, what will happen is that you will ask 1 or 2 questions, and then we will talk for 45 minutes and answer all of the questions without you even realizing it's happening. But you have to invite me in. I can't just barge my way into your energy. And the way you invite me in is by asking a question or bringing up a topic. And it can be anything from why do I feel a pit in my stomach every time I talk to my neighbor to how does manifestation work on a vibrational level? It doesn't matter what it is. Just start the conversation and then the flow will take us where it needs to go. So I think a lot of people work that way. I think it's a big misconception to think that, not everybody can just walk into a room and read you. Like I can't. That's not how it works for me.
Okay. So already getting a lot of stuff. Oh, that's probably your last day. Okay. So prior to, and I'm just going to kind of start spewing off some of this stuff. So I already knew he was a male. You had already shared that with me. I don't have his name yet. So if I don't give you the name, maybe you'll share it. But let me see what I will come up with first. I will tell you, I kept hearing either parakeet, and then I heard it like parakinesia, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm sorry for my cussing. But I kept getting it over and over again. And what I find really interesting is I raise up to talk to him and I start getting nervous and I get all wiggly and I'm cussing more. And like, oh, isn't that interesting? So I do get an assisted crossing. Do you understand that for him at all?
Yes.
I'm just, okay. I'm safe. I'm safe. I just like, Mom, did he have a lot of big energy? I mean, he's a little dude, but do you know if he was a squirrely little fella?
He was very anxious. So
Yeah.
exactly how you explained, getting all wiggly and everything,
Yeah.
that's exactly how he was.
I feel like I just want to jump on you and lick you and just say, hey, life is good. He is showing me a gray sofa, a gray color. Do you know where that would fit in at all?
We had it's kind of gray. It's like a weird blue gray color.
Fair.
That's the color of our sofa, yeah.
Oh, perfect. He's like, get up there, get up there. My mom said no. But then he's like, but I'm going to do it. My mom said no. Okay.
Yeah, we tried to keep him off the new couch when we got it. We said we're going to not let the dogs on the couch, and then they got on the couch.
And then he's showing me hair. He's showing me his long white hair. He's like, look at this. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
My mom is like, look at this. It's funny because I'm literally looking over here and it's just my fucking desk. Just like, so he's got a lot of energy. He's got a lot of movement. He did bring me to those shoulders. It almost felt like maybe if you pick them up like that, but I kept wanting to squish my shoulders in, and then he did pull me to the right front too. So I'm used to working with horses. So when I get horses, it's right front, right hind, left front, left hind. So dogs, same thing. So it would be his front. I wanted to go to the shoulder. I keep wanting to go to the shoulder on that right front.
Well, towards the end, his back legs stopped working.
Interesting. So his front had to carry him more.
Yes.
So he was putting more stress here.
Yes.
Because, perfect. Okay.
Yes.
I'll send you these notes too. I'll just scan them in. It's going to look like a hot mess, but I'll still send them to you. Okay. My tool warmers are moving. Hold on. Okay. She was sitting on my feet this whole time. Okay. Do you understand the para thing at all? The parakeet or the para? It kept coming up.
The thing that comes to mind is my daughter played violin, and that high screechy sound that
Like
the kids make when they're first learning, that
Oh.
He used to sit at the bottom of the stairs and howl when she played. He hated it when she played her violin, and it sounded kind of like that high pitched.
Oh shit, that's funny. I do keep wanting to say hi, mom, hi, mom, and then I feel like I'm holding him like this and just squeezing him.
Yeah, the day he passed, I ended up laying with him on the floor for a long time and just laying with him because he couldn't get up and I could tell he was in pain and there was nothing I could do, so I just stayed with him on the floor for a while.
I hear thank you. Um, so I do feel like it was assisted, but then I also heard the word unexpected. So do you understand that at all? I mean, usually if I get unexpected, it's we didn't know they were going to pass, they went on their own. But I felt like there was an assistance here. So
So
I'm not
yeah, he was older and he was doing well. He was fine. And then he went downhill very, very quickly. It was almost within a week's time. He went from what
oh,
seemed perfectly fine to not.
yeah.
And we had to go have him take him to the vet and have them help him because he couldn't stand up, he couldn't eat, he couldn't drink water or anything. So
Oh, okay.
he just got to that point very, very quickly. So it was unexpected and expected at the same
Yep.
time.
Which is okay. I there was nothing you could have done to shift this, just so you know you didn't. And I feel like you know this, that you didn't
Yeah.
do. I feel like I'm saying this more for anybody who's watching this who might have had to escort an animal over or participate in some way. Those that's part of their soul journey, and it is an experience you would have signed up for. I know. So if any of you, and if you are holding any guilt over their passing, I'm just going to ask you to release that and let that go because it doesn't help you going on your journey. It just doesn't. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
I was hearing my lar. I don't know if they're talking like Mylar, but I heard my lar. I wrote it down like LAR. I mean,
Hmm.
if it was a
I'll have to
horse, there's a Mylar bit. Mylar is a balloon. Mylar, I don't know, but Mylar. And he was
I'll have to
talking
think
about
about it.
the person with the long legs, but it was a masculine. So it would have been the boy with the long legs. Do you understand that?
So my son,
Okay.
maybe, he's about 6 feet tall, I'd say. I
Oh,
don't know.
okay. Okay.
Or my husband. It could have been my husband too.
Okay. He does. And then I was hearing what I thought was Barney, but now I kind of think it might have been the last name Brown.
Yeah.
So it's the BR. So
Mm-hmm.
not very psychic there. Okay.
Or could it have been Bobby?
Who's was Bobby?
Bobby is my daughter, and he was her
Oh,
dog, and they were very,
oh.
very, very close.
There's a May
Um,
connection to him too. The month of May is going to be significant. The number 11 is going to be significant for him. Been around the block, he said. Been around the block. He does show me a white front door. Do you know where the white front door would be? It almost feels like there's a screen door.
I have a white screen door on my house.
Okay.
The
Okay.
front door is black, but the screen door is
That's
white.
okay. Screen door is great. You have a driveway to the right of your house?
I have to think about that. It depends. It depends on if you're looking at the house or if you're standing on the front porch. If you're looking at the house, it's on the right. If
Yeah.
you're standing on the front porch, it's on the left.
Perfect. So if I'm standing at the house, at the in front of the house looking at it, the driveway's over here.
Correct.
This is my right. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Build up, I hear. And he's like, I ran. So would you know if he got out and just like, I'm just gonna go visit. But he keeps wanting to take me towards, like, if you ran out of the house, he would have ran to the left. But as I'm looking at it, he ran to the right. Does that make
He
sense?
al- he would never go far. If he ever got out, he just went right around to the garage. He was a
Okay.
very kind of scaredy cat dog,
Oh,
so he didn't go far.
do you know where the big fence would be?
There's a couple places it could be.
Okay. He's showing me a brown fence. Um, it looks like it might be 6 foot. Like I have a 6 foot privacy fence on my west side over here. He's showing me something similar to that. It looks a little different color than mine, but I am seeing what looks like a 6 foot privacy fence. He said, I had my own yard. You understand that?
Hmm. He did. He would patrol it.
Okay. And you said that your daughter is Bobby. Is there an S name like Sasha at all? I will tell you, Sasha means protector.
Aw.
Okay.
S. No, no S's.
Okay. So we're going to look at the protector there.
Okay. I think Robin definitely. So her name is Robin, but we call her Bobby. So I
Oh,
think she definitely looked at him like her protector.
yeah. Like
He was her dog for sure.
he's so how Kinsey, my female shepherd, was on my feet a little bit ago. He was like on her feet,
Yes, he slept in the
on
bed with
her.
her.
Yes.
I think he was probably very sad when she went away to college. I felt it. Like when she went away to
Yeah.
school, I feel like he was sad that she wasn't there anymore.
Yeah. They absolutely do. They absolutely do.
He
They
was such a
mourn,
good boy.
they feel, they have all the feels.
His
Okay.
name was Rollo.
Rollo.
It's a fun story how he got that name. So my husband used to be is in construction, and he was working at a construction site years and years and years ago, down in the South in Virginia. And he was working the front door of a CVS fixing the glass. And this kid, Chad was like, there's 5 other doors. This kid goes through the
Um,
door I'm working on, right? So the kid goes through and he goes, the grandfather's with the kid. And the grandfather yells at him, Rollo, what's wrong with you, boy? Come back here and apologize to that man. And it stuck in my husband's mind because he thought it was so funny. And so that's how Rollo got his name, was from that little interaction.
oh, awesome.
He was such a good dog. He was such a good boy. He was scared to death of himself, of everything.
Oh, he does also show me a chain link fence, so you might just pay attention.
There's a couple of, so the neighborhood we live in, we don't have a fence on our yard, but the yards around us are all fenced and they all have
Okay.
dogs. So it
Oh,
wouldn't surprise me if one of those dogs he didn't like or something like that, because he didn't necessarily like to go for a walk because he didn't like to be around other dogs.
so just pay attention to where you see the tall fence. But again, this looked like a privacy fence, so the wood's really tight. And then additionally, I kept seeing chain link, but I feel like he's looking through it. So just you know what? That's not tall. That's like a 4 foot or whatever fence, like that you would see people with their front yards in some little towns. They have the little chain link fence
Yeah,
around it for their little dogs. And so like there's a little gate there. So that's what he's showing me right now. Okay.
got it.
I will tell you, he says to tell your daughter he can come back again. And she was concerned about that. He can come back again.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me happy.
They can also soul hop. So they can come into an existing animal. So the existing animal soul, people do this too, believe it or not. But that soul can pop out in another soul. His soul can come in. So it would be an
Yes.
agreement that they would make.
Yes. Who is
Yeah.
it that Dolores Cannon talks about that? The walk-ins. Have you ever heard her talk about that?
I don't know that I've heard her talk about the walk-ins. I think the first time I ever heard that term, there was or I saw it, was like the ghost whisperer way back in the day. And
Right.
I thought that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And then I saw it.
Right.
And I was like, oh.
Can I just tell you, I have eaten so much crow in the last 5 years.
Right?
There
Oh,
are so
no.
many things that I clearly was like, "That's not real," and here I am, and my mother loves to point that out to me.
Yes. Oh.
"Oh, oh, you believe in tarot cards now? Well, I remember a time when maybe you thought that was bad." I'm like, "Okay,
I used to think those were evil too.
yeah,
I totally did. They're just tools. They're just
yeah."
tools.
Just tools, just permission slips, because most of us think that we're not special enough to have access to it. So we have to find a workaround or a loophole to do
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
But I will tell you, and I'm sure you've noticed this, the more you work with yourself and the more comfortable you become, the less you need those tools. It becomes second nature. I tell people all the time, I use cards in my readings for you, not me.
Yeah.
I use cards in my readings
It's
because
validation
most
for people.
people want me to give them that proof, right? And for
Yeah.
some reason, cards seem to fulfill that for most people.
Yeah.
My reading with or without the cards is not going to change. I only use them for you.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind as you grow, as you expand, you don't need these tools anymore.
No. And sometimes they can be a crutch for us if we lean
Yeah.
on them too much. I will tell you what I love because I never started using cards. It's something that I started adding as I went through. I was like, oh, that's kind of fun. And I do have quite a plethora of decks. But what I love to do is get the information, and then as I'm shuffling the card that matches what Spirit just gave me, I'm like, oh, that's doubling down. That's some amazing shit.
Yes. That's how it works for me. So when I do a card reading, I tap into the energy and I just flow with whatever's coming through. I'm shuffling at the same time as I'm speaking. Cards are flying out. I pick them up, stack them up, and go through them.
Yeah,
And without
absolutely.
fail, they are lining up and confirming stuff. You know,
Yes, it's
again,
amazing
it's this
stuff.
frequency and resonance. You're
Yes.
resonating with the frequency that you've assigned to that card and that meaning,
Yeah.
because your psyche is saying this is the one you need. Boom, there it goes, like a
Yes.
magnet.
Yes. And that I love that too because I just shuffle. I don't do the whole split them, do this, have somebody touch them, lick them, whatever. I just shuffle until they fly out, and then
Me too. Me
yeah.
too.
Oh, I love that.
Me too.
Very good. Well, we'll call it in the evening here. I will do just a couple of seconds of so go fast if you guys want an animal or a number from me. If you know, you know. If you've followed me, for those of you who've not followed me, my guides give me numbers that resonate with what you're going through or what you need to know. And they'll do the same with animals. And if I give you an animal, then you can channel that animal or you can call that animal's energy in. Okay. All right. I'm not going to do full on readings, you guys, because I'm getting hungry. I haven't had food. I haven't had food and I'm starving. Okay. So, but I will give you messengers. So, Jenna Burke, did she ask? I thought, oh, she did. Can I get an animal reading? Jenna, I'm going to give you an octopus. That almost feels like trying to handle more things than one. What you're going to do is you're going to go to Google and you're going to type in animal messenger. And well, you'll type in octopus and behind it, you'll type in messenger. So whatever I give you, just type in what it is. Kathy, oh, dinosaur. I know that is an actual. I've had that come up for people. Erica, I want to give you the number 2. I actually want to give you like 222. Hi, Carla, 47 for you. Miss Arva, 91. 9 and oh shit, that's interesting. That's endings and beginnings. So
The year we're in and the year we're headed to.
oh yeah,
We're in a
shit.
9. We're headed to a 1.
Oh, I'm really excited about the 1, to be honest. I just like, come on, baby.
Girl, come on, bring it. Let's do it. Enough
Erin,
playing around.
Erin, I want to give you 47. Erin Coleman, not you, Erin.
I was
I
like,
actually,
okay.
yeah, I'll give you a number. Crystal, oh, Erin, I'm going to give you 5. Erin in front of me, Erin. I'm going to give you the number 5. That's changes, honey.
I like it.
Crystal, did I miss you? Crystal, I'm going to give you 32. Tana, I don't know what that is. I hear sea shepherd. I was like, I don't think that's a thing.
Don't you love it when that happens?
Yeah, I'm seeing a seahorse in my mind's eye, hearing sea shepherd. So just go with the seahorse. Okay. Miss Mary. Oh, I'm going to give you the dog. It could very well be because I'm looking at your dog. But I do think that dogs are huge messengers. So I'm going to give you the dog. Venus, I want to give you a cat. That's interesting. Okay, so octopus keeps coming up. I keep hearing it. I'm like, I already gave that to somebody. And then I get it for the next person. And I'm like, I already gave that to somebody because I like to be different for everybody. I'm going to tell everybody right now, even if you got a number or not, look up octopus as a spirit messenger, because it feels like that is a universal theme that we might be going through right now. So when I start having those things come up in readings where I keep getting the same shit for everybody, I'm like, okay, it's a new session. I shouldn't be getting the same stuff, but it is because it is a theme
Yes.
that we're all experiencing.
Girl, that happens to me too. I'm so glad that happens to you. If I'm
Yeah.
doing readings for people and the same cards show up reading
Yes.
after reading after reading,
Yes.
it's because it's part of the collective
Yes.
energy that's coming through.
Yes, 100%. And sometimes I will just start laughing and I will just like, okay, this has to go to everybody. I'm just going to make a video real quick.
Yeah, same girl.
Okay. So if you guys didn't get a message or a number, I do try to sometimes come back through here. And so just if you get tagged by me, it's because I've come back through and found a number or something for you. So I am going to close here, you guys. Again, don't panic. I will try to come back through, okay, and see if I can pick up anything else. Probably be tomorrow or the day after.
So
All
fun.
right.
What a great conversation.
That was wonderful. That was wonderful. I don't know if we got all the questions because I had some for you, but that's okay. We'll do it next time.
We'll do it next time.
All right. I'm going to